Okay. Zorg l'shneach sliver the kol b'shma Yisrael. The still has to make his voice heard by Shema Yisrael. Kadesh Yishmo Hakal, in order the congregation to hear. V'yamlichu Shem Shemaim Yachad. No king or the Shem Shemaim together. Um, I don't know the right English word. Okay. Korosa Mahali. You can read Kriya Shema while you're going. Or Amid or standing, or Shochav or sleeping, or lying down, or Rokev or riding, or Agab Vihim on top of an animal, or Yoshiv or sitting down. Avalo Praktun. But you can't do it with your back on the bed. The Hainu Shapanav Tovos Vakarko. Oh, sorry, this is the other way. It says your face is in the ground, so you turn upside down. O Mishulach, O Mushlach Agabo, upon the Mala, or he's thrown onto his back and his face is upwards. Avokoro Vuhu Shochev al Tito, but he could read it and he's on his side. Haga. Me'achu Shagavar Shochev, after he's already sleeping, it's already lying down. V'yinkatir Chalam, and there's a lot of tircha to stand up, so he's fine to read it like that. This from the Harav Ben Yonah Perik Shumesa, but you shouldn't be trying to go back to bed to do the Shema. V'imhay Baal Basar, who was very fat, Harbe, very, very fat. The Inu Yochel at the Tapich is not able to turn. I'll see him on his side. Oh, Shahayacholo, or he's sick. No Tamat, but see the Bakar. You can turn a little bit to his side and you can still read. Mahalik, he could go while he's riding, while he's going. And the Kam Bisim. Gimel, look later on in Sif Gimel. Prakton, this is a Prakton. Mafil Muta Ma'af Altido Gam can also even turn a little bit on his side. Would be Aser if he's going up face down. Okay. This one Brachos is giving him an alef. V'mnei Shinir Kamakabo Olav Malfa Shemaim Derech Shor of a guy, because it looks like he's accepting the yoke of heaven, the way of Gaiva and holiness. Shekavar Shokov, if he's already sleeping, it's fine if he's sideways. Rotzler means to say, Pachet Koma Olav, and he took out everything which is on him. So he's in the bed, he's lying down, he's got no clothes on. It's in the moment of room. Vika Sarak Lam of the size of luncheon, and there's Jericho to get up and then to go back and put them on. Avolim Shokov of Haluka, but if he's sleeping with his shirt on, Sarak Lam, he does have to stand up. This is from Bain but he does get up, Bain Belachalik. The Inu Yochel, he's not able to turn to his side. Avolim, because he's so big. Avolim Yochel Altida, but if he's able to go on his side, I feel the rack the prosecution of the Vadim for the first pasuk. The Koyav last is obligated to do this. This is Pashit. The Kol Shekain and Yochel, of course, of Yeshiva, sure he's able to do it while he's sitting down. Days. Mishra to Lahafmer, La'amod, Kishu Yosef. One who wants to be Machmer to stand while he's when he's sitting. Kishu Yosef. Ulakrosa Ma'umad Nikra Abraham. And he wants to do it, read it while he's standing up. He's called a sinner. Mishra the Lachka Beisov is the Lachka like Priscilla, the sphere that he holds. The Honda Ptev Ubukumach, this is when you're getting up. In the Kavanah Ba'amida doesn't mean when you're standing up. Kedas Bisham like opinion like Sham. It was much there up in the other rather at the time when it's normal for the people, the Komi tells them to get up in their bed. But also the half mirror last is Bisham, it tells him to be Mahmer to do like Bishamite. This is from the Prima Godim. A few in a Kavanah Ba'amida, so last is Bisham. Even if his intent when he's standing up is not to do like Bishamite, El or a Kavanah rather just wants to wake up the Kavanah, he's standing up. Yeah, daytime. I feel the Hawkey also still a also. And Bain beyond Bain either whether by day whether by night, it still has to do with the standing. From the base Yosef and take close to the head of the sitter, or Amram and sitter by on Sham. Rachel Peak and even still, Inter of Lizel Chazu, the process of the Yevid, but Yevid you wouldn't have to go back and redo it. So we read it this from the Prima Garden. I and Sham look there, but I'm Bishop Matthew Hood, nothing Bishop Matthew Hood. Lahachmer, the person shouldn't be Mahmer about this. Plus, yeah. Want to be Mahmer and stand up. Because of Yam Shlomo, Shlomo says in the Yam Shlomo, Perek the Bava Kama, Simon Mamalf, and Simon Mamalf. Visha Shemach Mir B'fnei Rabbim. One is Machmer in front of in public. The other Shemutzer or something by something which is Mutzer. But you can make us the or, and there's to be concerned about hardness. Minadin also we give him neither. Behind it that means and also with other pashas the Etheiro b'chol Yisrael. If that thing has been spread out, it's had there in the whole level of Israel. This is the proof about them, and he's trying to be more machmer than we call him when we give him neither. This is the proof about them. When we do a also l'shem shemayim, if we know he's doing it for the sake of heaven, aim allowed to know, so we don't give him neither. If machmer b'shnei rabba, if he's machmer in front of his rebbe, berura mekel, rabba mekel, and his rebbe is mekel. Another note, so we would give him the if he over Shem Shemaim if he did it for half, for the sake of heaven. If he made him pashit kolkach, hasi when it's not so clear that he can be mako. Well, you have from naked rap, divrei rabbi, we shouldn't be mad for opposite the words of his rebbe. And lo sheyeshlo raya les story the varmless he has proof to contradict his words. I come to trouble is the end of his language. Okay. Now I'm going to stand up. Dafka Mazah who thought there's only this way is enough. So Mishum the Shanira they call Mishum Kumra Kav. It's because it appears to everyone is doing it because of a Kumra. Avlim Omid Yafalation, but if he's standing up he's able to sit down. This is from the Teres Kanim and the Rabba, Morgan Giborim, the local Prima Gadam from Bakum, not like the Prima Gadam which is asked about this. The Azin and Europe the Mishum Kumra Kav, then he doesn't seem like he's doing it because of a Kumra. If he's standing up he's able to sit down. Dafka b'shachar it's only mashachar. So the arbit by Marv. Eno lahadus relation of the you shouldn't turn and sit down when you're standing. The nearest shows goes to b'shama because now it looks like you're doing it like b'shama. This is from the Prima Gadam and the Magni Forum. Eskimo Habach, the located Rebbe. Okay. If he does this, he's called an Avrayna, Varyon. Kadamin Berg Kira says Berg Kira the Manda Abadan as Rabban the one other as Rabban one violates the Rabban sure the Mikvi de Avarina it's must they call him an Avarina Avarina. Because of Eli Rabba, the Eli Rabba writes B'Shem Marshal and Marshal to Yom Kippur and Yom Kippur Kuli Alma Modim to share the Alma everyone agrees that you're able to stand. The inner also Mishum Yohari you're not doing it because of being haughty El Mishum Mitzvah Subakach whether it's mitzvah this way to be standing. So we will do that. Goes along with the Hadnus as Malachim, and then it means to say that we similar them to Malachim, Shinikra and Modim, which were called standing. So they stand the whole Yom Kippur. The Prima God of Osrig and Bizan, the Prima God of Master, even in this case, they're doing it for Yom Kippur. Okay, Gimel. I am a Halif B'derech, we're going on the road, Rasa the close Kriyash. When you want to be Kriyash, Tzorach Lamed, you have to stand up. The possibility with the first possible, meaning it doesn't mean stand, it means stop. He's going on the road. Avakav de Leel Seval, even though earlier in Seval, Mash the Benedin, much of the post is from the house, it's Benedin, it's much of the read it while he's going. Mikomako Mitzman, a minute for the Ami Bashas Pas Risham, still the better mitzvah to read it is to stop at the time of the first pasuk. Do Iker Kriyashma, because that's the main part of Kriyashma. The Fisha, Enam Yushav Kolkaka, it's not so. He's not so Yushav while he's walking. He's not so settled. فإنه يأخذ الكعبة بكجوم محلق كاشر خير يوشي. He's not able to have a sin while he's going, it's just like he would have had if he was sitting. But you have it in Korb with Kajum Malach, and you have it if while he's going. And Torah clouds is gross, you wouldn't have to go back and reread it. This is from the Prima Gadam. Torah cloud, you would have to stop. Rotolom release Akiv, doesn't mean to stand, it means to stop. You walk back in one place. And most of the girls have been Bamida being yeshiva, it's mutter to read it whether you're standing or sitting. Just stop. If you have a Kriya Shema, even for Kriya Shema Shal Abbas, even if I marry, you can do it either way. This is from the Pri Megadim. The Dapke Mishana Bamida in the yeshiva, it's only when if he changes from when standing to from sitting, also the Kriya Shema, then it's also the Kriya Shema Shal Abbas. Misham the nearest Osa Kivesham, the Kriya Kidur Nag Masham, Mash thinking the house, yeshiva, which is not true by any going from going to sitting. V'yoshev v'karan, you're sitting in the wagon. Or b'sfina or you're in a boat. In tzarech lamed, you wouldn't have to ski it. This from the Bach and the top, the Taz, and Sharp on another one. Yukol lechaven hates because you're able to have good intent this way. Oh, sorry. It's only when you change from going to sitting. Okay. V'yoshev v'karan, if you're sitting in a wagon or b'sfina or in a boat. In tzarech lamed, you wouldn't have to stop the boat or wagon. Yukol lechaven hates because you have good intent while the wagon's going. It doesn't affect you. You don't have to think about it. I'm a cherry chewing from a gun, look a cherry chewing from a gun. But Berota about Behema, you're riding on the animal, you stairs to the Machloek, there's opinions. Bein Achronim, between the Achronim, Benachon, half it's proper to be Machmer. It's on the Prima Godim and the Shari Chubah. The Pasuk Rishon with the first Pasuk. Roshan Kvom Machusili on bed, and Roshan Kvom Machusilim, but Cham Pasuk Rishon is included in the first Pasuk, you would have to stop for that too. That's from the Vosh Lamagan Avram. Yesh Machbirin Ad Al-Vavachan, those that are Machmer until Al-Vavachan. This is from the Bach. Inkar Kavanah who pasuk Rishon, the main intent is from the first pasuk. Okay. Hilchach, therefore, im karvelo kivin libo. If you read and didn't have intent at the time, the pasuk Rishon, the first pasuk, lo yotze dechavas, you haven't fulfilled your obligation. Because of it, you have to go back and reread Kriya Shema. If you man the Amer mitzvah heinu tzirch kavanah, even according to man the by mitzvah, you don't need intent. Modahach is modah because you need to have intent for the first pasuk. Okay. I missed. I missed the end of the last one. Umisham Bahala, and from then there and on, so you stop for the first. Let me read this again. Pasuk Rishon, stop for the first pasuk. It's on the last one. The Boshing Gumach Sulion is the cloud pasuk Rishon who. That's including the first pasuk, and you know he's not going to say Al of Avech. Okay, Umisham Bahala, and from Antishama and from there and onwards, what's the course of Alucha Bamida you could do there whether you're sitting, whether you're going or you're standing. Okay, this is from the Taz and the Magen Avraham and the local Bach. Now it says, the first pasuk you have to have intent, and if you don't, you have to redo it. I'm a Sifkan Yadal, looking to Sifkan Yadal, two of them are Shank Wamakasoli on bed. You also have Shank Wamakasoli on bed, you have to redo this commission. Even though even if you didn't have intent with it, this is from the Prima Gadam. Dam can serve ties to go to Kavan, you don't have to go back and redo it with Kavan. Lo Yatsi, you wouldn't be Yotzef. I feel him Kadam and Kodem, Shehiskal across the Skavin, the Kayim, the Kriyas, and so even before you began to read, you had intent to fulfill the obligation with the reading. The mitzvahs asking the creation on the mitzvahs of asking creation. Huh? This is from Mulcha from Beis Yosef B'Shem Arashba. This is from the Beis Yosef name of the Arashba. Mikomakom Kol Shebe'em Sapana Libo. Anytime in the middle you turn his heart, the Dvar Mechem to other things. Hayilokibo Olam Malchus Shemayim. Behold, he didn't accept the yoke of the King of Heaven. Vaskama to live with in the accepting of the heart. Because you have to go back and reread it. The Lachash quietly. This is from the Achronim. Shlo Yehi Nira Kamekabel Shei Rishis. It shouldn't appear like accepting two gods. Chas v'shalom. Behind the Elba Simon Rit. Simon Chalom. Look later in Simon Tzamfalav. Mishta Berura Sivkan Kafbeis. Afilim Kavar Korah Kol Parsha. Even if you read the entire Parsha Shema. V'hayim Shema. And also V'hayim Shema. V'achkaf Nitzkar Shalom Korah Pasuk Rishon. And they didn't remember they didn't read Pasuk Rishon the Kavanah properly with intent. It's from the Magen Avraham. You have to go back and reread the whole Parsha Shema. And if you don't read except only just the first pasuk, You're going to be reading it out of order and it wouldn't be Yotze. Bilakam Resif Resimin Sam Dalad is Silan on Sam Dalad. In News Kabam to Parshas Vayim Shema. If you remember in the middle of Parshas Vayim Shema, Yigmar Vayomer, you should finish until that Parsha until Vayomer. V'yaskel v'yikra Shema ad Vayim Shema. Then you should go back and start Shema until Vayim Shema. V'yaskel the Parsha Vayomer, then go back to Vayomer. This is from the Derech HaChaim. Moda, please, and Moda over here. So when he said the Kol Pasha Shema, it didn't mean V'hayim Shema. V'hayim Shema you could do out of order. Do that proportional. So here would be Moda. The Achol Pishin Miskabin that says Pizep, Hideichov Mitzvah, even though he's not intending with this to be to fulfill his mitzvah, he doesn't have to. Still he has to have intent of the heart. The whole possibility for the whole purpose, accept upon himself the yoke of heaven. Okay, let's do stuff the very last of the minutes. In order that it should be heard, he has to say very loud. He also has to say Gamkein imahim with them. This Mishna. He has to, even though he has to say that with them, Mishna with them. He should have intent then not to be Yotzei. His obligation of Kriyashma in order to be able to read the brachos with the Kriyashma, which is the Deraisa one, when he won't have been Yotzei earlier. If he's let's say out of, then he has to read it with the Shil Tibur. He's not in secrets. He's not up to them. And you don't have to read it with Shil Tibur. Have intent not to be Yotzei in order that when you get there yourself, you're going to be able to read it the Deraisa one with the brachos. I have a low practice, not practice, but even if you did it on your back or whatever, on your face, it will be Yotzei. This one the Prima got them. He's already sleeping, he's already lying down, then it's too hard to get up, it's fine. Doesn't have clothes on, he's going to put on his clothes and everything. I'm Mishna Berurah, Mishna Berurah. The Hine Koza who Rakul Fidas or God is only according to God. The Stam Pshidis Rabbeinu Yonah, the Stam like Rabbeinu Yonah. I'm Beis Yosef Pasuk Apostle Shalkolkim Al Rabbeinu Yonah, but they're Beis Yosef passing the people the opinions who are going to Rabbeinu Yonah. Spirit who da feel the Chachila Matul Dishkov Al Sido, that even the Chachila you could sleep on your side doesn't so not only if you're already lying down. The Quran to read. The Al Sido Mamish Enu Nikra Derech Gaiva, that on his side really doesn't count as Derech Gaiva. Behold, for the Allah is mashma the only stomach, but Taz the Magen Avram and Taz the Magen Avram. Yesh the Tzvos to Beis Yosef. You can hold like the Beis Yosef. Then pass the Magen Avram Giborim. Simply pass the Magen Avram. Then on your side is totally fine. Al number seven really is Zuta, but however in the name is Zuta post the Ramai pass like the Ramai only if you can't if it's hard. Okay, Mishra Zav and similarly Mishra Zav and Taz that then in Ramai side then it's like the Ramai. That he says, besides to say that to be machmir, you're supposed to kedas Rabbeinu Yonah, you should be machmir and pass them like Rabbeinu Yonah. And it's look there. Okay, b'vadi you should hachmir l'chafil. Therefore, l'chafil you should sure be machmir. Don't read it while you're on your side unless you have a very pressing need. Note the matter of the Bakar turned a little bit on the side and read. I am Prima Gun, look at Prima Gun, which costs Dim Kasha Lema Yeshiva Amid. If it's hard for him to sitting and standing, Yecholim feel the Chachil Lishkov. He's able to Chachil even to go sit and to lie down. I'll see it a little bit on the side, with the crow, and to read it. Im Einam Yecholim I'll see the Mamish if they're not able to do it on his complete side. V'chozeh Makarin goes back and he has to go back and reread it. Okay. So if he can't do sitting, he can't standing, and he doesn't really want to do sideways, it's hard for him. He could do a little sideways. He's going to have to go back and reread it. I'm Prima Gun, look at Prima Gun, the Mustabakim, who made the Raisa and the Rabbanan, if he has to go back and reread it, made the Raisa and the Rabbanan, if he didn't do the Hafkarana for the first pasuk. Hey. Imay Yashim Mitzarim, he's doing an afternoon nap. Also, Oh, sorry. If he was sleeping, what am I doing? If he was starting it. Ima Yoshin was sleeping. Mitzarim also we pain him. Umayirin also we wake him up. Actually, could possibly until he reaches the first pasuk. Who air mamish and he's really awake at that point. We can't be from then onwards. In Mitzarim also we don't give him pain. Kadesh Yikra in order that he should read. Who air mamish and he should be fully awake. Even if he's reading in Vishnamnim Yotze and he would be half asleep, it would be Yotze. Ga, Vidin Shasli Bishikra in regards to drinking and being drunk. I and the Kambasimin Sali Testif out. Look later on some of Testif out. Visnam Nimosli. Wooden on the Sakos and the other types of owners. This is from the Magan of Ron. Hamavata Kamana with which would have destroyed in Kamana. Yibiyatu. The Hari Alkoponim Karakul, because at the very least you read the whole thing. Avalim Mishtakea Mashane of Ulakar, but if you got grabbed with sleep and you didn't read it, lo yatsi wouldn't be yotzi. The hari alkopanim zorach l'kos kula, because at the very least you have to read the whole thing. But yesh shalosh days ben a posel. Because you didn't read the whole thing, if you got grabbed from sleep, you couldn't read it. Then yesh shalosh days ben a posel. Let's read the opinions in between the posel. This is from the Prima Gadim and Shamnak there. Yisham in the Rak Pasuk Rishon, those say only the first Pasuk Bavatu, Minotaur is the only thing Minotaur. Yisham in the Kol Parsha Rishona Minotaur, and some say that the whole first Parsha is Minotaur. Yisham in the Gam Shnia Minotaur, some say even the second one is Minotaur. The Parsha sits is the Kuliyama Minotaur. A Parsha sits is according to everyone is Minotaur. They'll have to use Mitzrayim, but it's only in order to mention the going out of Mitzrayim. The kino the healthcare bisman Kriyashma, they set it up, the Rabbanan decided to mention it in the time of Kriyashma, and the time of Simon Samach, Zion, Mishnah Berura, L'Shari Tshuva Sham. Look at later on in Simon Samach, Zion, Mishnah Berura, L'Shari Tshuva there. Okay. The Beralacha says, Shabbi Shukar, even though he's reading, while he's half asleep, it's Yosef. I'm Mishnah Berura, Mishnah Berura, but Im Ninar, Mishnah Sof, Mishena, the Ino Yudea, he's a Makam Humomed. If he gets up from his sleep, he doesn't know which place he is standing. He just gets up and doesn't know where he is. And the Kam Simon Samatav, if phase in Mishnah Berura Shamlat later on in Simon Samatav, to phase in the Mishnah Berura there, what do you do? I don't know where I was in the Krishma. I just went to sleep. Akor Krishma, Lo Yirma, the name of one who preached Krishma shouldn't make hints with his eyes. Olifit was possible and shouldn't, I don't know, jump things with his mouth, or I guess mouth the words. Lo yer, that's supposed to not show with his fingers. The parsha Rishonim is in the first parsha. Shuekur Kabbalah Solomon, which is the main part of accepting the yoke of heaven. Mimnei Shinir Kakar Arai, because it looks like he's reading it temporariness, like temporarily. Because the Bartamam it says you should speak of them with Ashirin, Asios, and Kevin, make them set. Okay. Lo yer mitzvah shouldn't hint. The Mishnah says if you let have a mitzvah also the Muslim for have a mitzvah also to hint. This is from the Magen Avraham. Rekolshkin also Lishof, Tabak, the Kriyashma shirts also to grab to like smoke tobacco during Kriyashma. Sucking tobacco, I don't know exactly. Smoke. This is from the Chayadim. Parsha Rishonim in the first Parsha. V'yishmach me those that are Machmagam Parsha even by the second Parsha. This from the Magen Avraham Nishim, the Kesef Mishnah. After Davar Mitzvah, even for Davar Mitzvah, L'kuli Alma Mutter there must be specific the Parsha Shnia. According to everyone, it's mutter to hint with the second parsha. Avlahapsik, the head yolo, but we have to make a hepsik straight out. We couldn't do this. So, the davar mitzvah, the kuli alma mutter, the mutter was parsha. In this parsha, it's mutter to make a hepsik. Avlahapsik the head, but to make a hint in the second parsha. But to make a real hepsik, we wouldn't be allowed to do it. And the kam some later on some okay. Came move after came off of the Yuma, it has some ways this group Yuma, it has some ways that you couldn't make a full heptic, but you could make a hint during the second parsha. So okay. Hey Omin Malacha he's standing in his work, brought to the close Kriyashma, he wants to be Kriyashma, he spots him and Malach should stop doing his work. Anji Kora Parsha Rishon until he reads the first Parsha. Kadeshie, Kora, Kora Ryan, there should be like a temporary reading, so he should stop doing his work until do this. Anji Kora until he reads the first Parsha. Okay, Mashram can be conveyed the house Mashram here and on with Mutter, Philip, Brachos, Kriyashma, Mutter, even with Brachos Kriyashma. V'chein mavor behedya b'simen samachov, simen spil behedya and like straight on the simen samachov. Beis Yosef and Beis Yosef with the Be'er Maskell, Mashikosav, Rak, and Ero. This is the Maskell of Mashikosav, Rak, and Ero. Then he can do it with while he's doing his malacha. Okay, look there. If I end the conversation, look later on, Simon comes out the Taz, Sif Cotton, alef, Vitzoraki, and Galani's Brady, and look there. Okay. But it sounds like you could do it during the brachos and be doing your work. Okay, Umnam v'chein balabais, the Umanim and people, the craftsmen, v'chein balabais and the balabais, osim malach, which are doing their work, roshing on top of a tree, rosh shuros of a binyan on the rows of a building, of the walls of the bricks of the building. Koran kriyashma, the weak kriyashma, makom in their place, in a circle there where they wouldn't have to go down. Hakosev, so someone who has carrying something on his shoulders. Habavish Masoy al Ksefidon, there's a burning on his shoulders. Kora Kriyashma, he reads Kriyashma. Avaloyasko Bashas Shatoin, but he shouldn't start when the time when he's putting it on. He's loading it up. Valo Bashash putting it on the time when he's taking it down. And Nish in Libo Mishusha, his heart isn't settled. He's worried about how do I get this on, how do I get this on. Al Ksef on his shoulders. Afilu in the master who shall Arba Kavin, if the weight is of Arba Kavin weight, however much that is. This one the graph. So the Gabi 2 loss of the Kavin, because regards to per area would be also later on, the Simon Son and Dalit. If hey, the Gabi Kriyashma, by Kriyashma, wanted to have that amount of weight on his shoulders. Okay. Karl Mafir Loyalty reads it out of order, he wouldn't be Yosef. Madavar more the Seder Psukim. This is one is said by the order, this is the order of Psukim. Avolim Hiktim, Partial Chaverta, Apple Peak, Shano Rishayata. But if you put one partial before the other, even though it's not permitted, it will be Yosef of the Yavid. Okay, Lo Yata wouldn't be Yosef. Shnamar Bahayo Dvar Male, it says the you should be, it should be. Vaviyosim, you, as the other should be. Vafar should be Yom Partial Yom, the Kishatiktim, Rabban, the Rabban set it up, the Amr to say, you shouldn't mix with the clear as the time for the sake of mentioning for the mitzvah of remembering the going out of Egypt. Gamhin Kain is that Tikkun, they also set it up like this, similar to this, so you can't do it out of order. Post Pesukim is only by the Pesukim. Post Kain Seris as the tables for sure. If you moved around the words, it will be no good. This one will bring about them. It's either Be'er Lachos. Lawyer shouldn't hit. It shouldn't hint. I'm more looking for Shavuot Machmir and the Gam Parsha Shniyim. By the second Parsha, you should be. There's people are Machmir. When we come up near the Yesh Lachol, still appears to be there is to be making a Parsha name by the second Parsha. The Mishurogel Harbor Vishifas Tabak by someone who's very accustomed to smoking tobacco. We have Shulul Machos and he can't have intent because if he has to smoke, so he's fine. So by the second Parsha, you could do it. I am the conversation. Kafdal Shavuot. Look at it on Simon Kafdal and Shavuot. The very maskul Yofsik. Medivor and Murim Beseder Sukkim is only by the order of the parashas. Dim Karbal to Vahayu Devarim. If you read the parashas of Devarim, Kodim Bahavta. You read it before Bahavta. Yasav Yikurak Pasuk Vahayu. If you read Vahayu before Bahavta, you should go back and reread Pasuk Vahayu Devarim below Bahavta, and you shouldn't go back and say Bahavta. So if you said Vahayu, and then you did Bahavta. Just do Vahayu. Don't go back and do Vahafta. Okay. After the Isa Kriya Kara Achar Vahayu Advarim. Pause. Okay. In current Pasuk Vahayu Advarim, we read Pasuk Vahayu Advarim. Current Vahafta. We read it before Vahafta. Yafta V'Yikram Rak Pasuk Vahayu. You should go back and read just the Pasuk Vahayu Advarim below Vahafta. He doesn't have to redo Vahayu. He doesn't have to redo Vahafta. After the Isa Kriya, even though at the time of the reading Kara Achar Vahayu Advarim, he started reading after Vahayu Advarim. Nikol Makam Ashav, consider now it's in order. So it sounds like he did Vahayu and then Vahamta, and now he just has to redo Vahayu. Okay? Even though at the time of the reading he read after Vahayu Dvarim, Yikamakam Ashav, who consider now it's in order. Uriah Miyuma proof is from Yuma Sama from Mishnah. Hiktim Dam Asoya the Dam Par. Let's say you did first Dam Asoya to Dam Par, and Shem look there. Okay. Leviza, according to this, the number of the pasuk Rishon the Levad from the Raisa. You just say the first pasuk is alone the Raisa. Lo Yitzayr Hamiyat the Vahayu. You want to like have a picture, a way to find the case of Vahayu. Rakim Shina table Shol Shema Lemafre. Except if you moved around the words of Shema, the pasuk of Shema backwards. Then Yikara pasuk Shema the Besof of Adiyatza. And if you read the pasuk of Shema at the end, for sure you'd be able to, because you really only have to read that pasuk. In the close to Hakuba Gar, you can't push off the gear worse, given to the Asa Kriya Hais the Nikris the Hebrew, because at the time of reading was backwards. A parsha a parsha was in the backward way of reading the parsha. Va'atuhu Ata Ena Misakano. And now you're not fixing it. Okay. Then it's not true. The Adram Mistab with the Hawk other here Mistab is better. The Logarmi and Lokara sharp so Absukim clown. It's no worse than if you read the other Psukim at all. Reading it backwards, I guess, for sure would not. You don't even have to say the other psukim. Okay, and therefore, if you the only way to make a lemafreya in this case would be to switch around the first pasuk, which you have to. Even though he's not permitted, he will be able to be switched around the paragraphs. I'm very glad look at the paragraph of phase and phase because the lafora mukov metos made so after it's recorded proof from the after look around not like the Rambam. Wrote to them means to say the midrabanan lo yatsa b'chol gamnim midrabanan is not yatsa in any case. But I'm about primoganim some of the primoganim Mr. Zav the parak that has a suffix about this the ima the midrabanan lo yatsa say midrabanan you're not yatsa. Okay, if you did this not in order. Without the either suffix if in their mind not. Without the prima gadam hiniyah for Zarachin, leaving Zarachin Beikar, then it's the main did. Lama Bixibas at Parshios, positive the Shokanar, the Ordea, some race for class. Why by writing the Parshios as the Shokanar fasting and some race in the class, you got Maramam, Goof with the possible Shlokasuner, and also Ram himself, possibly writes them not in order. After Sham, Gam Kane in a Parshios, Smukhos over there, that was there, and even though there, also the Parshios aren't next one to another. Rahakiyot and here you'd be able to. Gam Kanatazi, also this kind of question in Taz is why would it be the paragraphs have to be in order when they're being wrote, but you don't have to be in order when you're reading them. Be there seven Reish Bechas. When you read Bipshitas Liashim, and it seems to me simple to answer. The Zel come on as a grudge, this is the intent of the grudge, because of Almash, because of Rambam, this is the writes on what is written the Rambam, She'ena Smuch of the Torah next to them in the Torah. What some means to say, She'ena Wela Takanat Chachamim only set at a decree of the Chachamim. Vakavanahu, the Bavadi, even the Torah, Nichtav, Vahayim Shema, Parsha Akev. The intent is that for sure, since the Torah wrote Vahayim Shema in Parsha Akev, after Shema, Parsha Esfanim, after Shema, which is in Esfanim, in Yosef Vahayim Shema, if you write Vahayim Shema first, Mikrish Loki Haviyas, and that's called not as it is. L'chein Sham Pas, and therefore there it's possible. She'en Kim Binyanenu, which is not true in our topic, who racks the Kanas Chazal, this is just the setting up of Chazal. The time here, and the reason is these pashas. The Sham, even the Arba Parashas Shevet Tefillin, but since they're the four Parashas Tefillin, the Shtei Parashas Shevet Mezuzah and the two Parashas Mezuzah, the Akwas Uzu, they would stop one from another. If you didn't do one, you wouldn't be able to the other. These two Menachos Chav fast in the Mishnah. It says there in Menachos Chav fast in the Mishnah. In Cain, in Chlisar Pasuk Yachad, so if you're missing one pasuk or Parasha Achas or one paragraph, Harihuki will cause the thoughts if it's not wrote at all. Therefore we say what the Torah revealed to us to be in a continued in order. Says Mechotam, and Tam Gam came Bishum Vahayu. The Torah was enough, and assumably the reason is because it has to be Vahayu. It should be for Torah goes between your eyes. Hakavanu who Al Kol Arba Parashas, the intent is about all the four parashas Yachad together. Shekulim Nachshavas Rak Parasha Achaz, they're all considered like one parasha. Mekalakas Rak Psukim, they only split just with the Psukim. Mash Ein Kim B'Dineni, which is not true in our topic. In Lokar Rak Parasha Rishon, if you just read the first parasha, Bavadi Yesh Lo Al Mitzvah, you for sure at the very least have a mitzvah of Kabbalah So Malchus Shemaim, that is accepting the yoke of heaven. Hapim Lokar Shni, even if you didn't read the second one, Shakabbal So All mitzvahs, if you're accepting the yoke of mitzvahs. Afim Nomer the Shem, the rice, even if you want to say they're both the rice. In Ma'akaz Uzu, they're still not ma'akaz one the other, they're different mitzvahs. Shai B'chul Achaz classes with Tzivay because each one of them has its own commandment for itself. B'chul Parsha Mura Alinyanach, Miyuchad, each one Parsha is teaching about a different topic. It's Neas on its own. L'chein Amin and Kavanas of Akos, therefore we say the intent of the Pasuk V'hayu who rak al Pasukim B'chul Parsha, Sheb'chul Parsha, it's only on the Pasukim with the whole Parsha. Well, the Kolza Afilu image stamp the rice is all as even if they're both the Raisa. The Kolza came in number the Pasha Achas minute. For sure we say if just one of them is meant the Raisa. But Vadu look quite Wahayi Rakal Sukum Shem Pasha. For sure Wahayi is only going on the Sukum with this Pasha because the other you only have one Pasha, whichever one is the Raisa. Mikol Malcolm in the Ramana Vadu Yatsu Afilu im Shina Sukum Pasha Shnia which teaches him for sure and still with the Ramana you for sure wouldn't be able to if you switched even the Sukum even in the second or third Pasha.